Hey guys, it's another kitchen chat. I believe today's Wednesday. It's Wednesday already. Hump day. Let's talk about the stock market. I know there's not a lot of people that tune in to learn about the stock market. I think my sense of my listeners is there are not a lot of savers out there. I guess they just like learning about saving and living through my savings. Stock market's going to be down again today. Yesterday was crazy. Day before was crazy too. The stock market, I have never seen it so volatile. Um, and when I say that, I mean I've seen the stock market go up and down, but to go up and then down in the same day, that's something special. That's something special. Um, Starting midnight of last night, this morning, however you look at it, 104% tariffs went into place for uh, China. Yeah, the old China. Our wonderful friend in China. Yeah. Um, we're making $2 billion a day in tariffs, um, which is good, I guess. But there's going to be a lot of people going on spending detox, right? If people continue to spend like they have been spending, they'll be broke. They'll be really broke. They'll be really broke. Well, we're going to see stuff go up. If you're buying electronics or anything like that, anything that's imported from China, you might wanna buy it now before the prices go up. Um, there's companies like I always use my Weber grill out here as a prop. I love my Weber grill. This time of year, I start using my Weber grill on a regular basis, making me some Italian sausage and some uh, some brats. Yeah, some Wisconsin brats and some cheddar wurst. Yeah, a lot of meat gets cooked on that grill during the summer and spring, fall months. So we're heading into prime grilling season. Well, it was a couple of years ago, local company Weber Grill, right? They used to make them here in Illinois, and slowly but surely, geez, probably like 7 or 8 years ago, I sadly found out that they were no longer made in Illinois. They had moved that all the way over to China. Yes, they made them in China. And I do believe when Trump put his tariffs on on China back in his first term, Weber Grill had some problems. They had some problems even during the pandemic. They had some problems. Sales plummeted for some reason, and they got themselves a new CEO really quick. So whatever it is they were doing, they weren't they weren't doing it right. I suspect that Weber Grill is wholly embedded into China for its manufacturing and probably not cannot very easily move it anywhere else. A lot of companies did that. They went all in. Let's just say that, right? If you're a gambler and you watch the Suzy Q Slots channel, I don't know how many. Comment down below if you watch both my channels or and Susie's, mine and Susie's, Land Cruiser Midwest and Suzy Q Slot Midwest. Um, yeah, because if you're a gambler and they went all in. A lot of companies went all in, pushed everything over to China to save money, and and pretty much put a fork in the American worker. We can talk about that too sometime. I worked for corporate America for 33 years, and I saw jobs flee this country starting in 19 probably 1995, it happened quickly. It happened very quickly. The higher ups, the politicians, the tech, or not really, the manufacturing titans of the United States, they just made a concerted effort. I'm not sure why, but they made a concerted effort to move everything offshore. And then it kind of bled into tech work too. I was a part of that. Talk about the sucking sound that you hear. I was part of that in corporate IT as they, wow, it was. I probably endured 15 years of having my job assaulted by India, right? Take it offshore to India. Also, the company that I work for, they actually started with offshoring to Ireland. Ireland used to have very, very, very cheap labor. Not that way anymore. But there's a lot of companies, um, corporate America, office type of working, insurance companies that at this point now, not only do they employ people in India, they actually have wholly owned subsidiaries, companies that they own that employ vast troves of foreign workers in India. They have their own office buildings now over in India. And one of the when they were outsourcing all of our jobs in corporate America to India, one of the things they told us was, "Oh, we're doing this because they're contract workers, so we can hire them and fire them as we need to upscale and downscale as we need as business warrants." How does that work when now you have a wholly owned subsidiary with all your workers that you're paying, right? You're giving them benefits, you're paying them whatever in India. Now they're employees. How do you get rid of 2,000 people in India if you need to? Not so easy anymore. So yeah, corporate America is the devil. I think there's a new generation of people finally finding out what I already know. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to live. I worked for 33 years in corporate IT, and um, I did not think highly of very many of the companies that I work for. Probably the only company that I really could think highly of is Motorola. They were a good corporate citizen, but they still sold out the United States along with all of our politicians and the rest of manufacturing America, and moved everything offshore pretty quickly. It was quick. It was quick. They actually had just built a second manufacturing plant in Illinois, and before they could open that, um, they had changed plans from manufacturing in Illinois to moving it to China, the Philippines, um, wherever else they could. Um, that fast, before they could finish that factory, things had changed drastically, and now they wish to not manufacture anything in the United States. So crazy, crazy times. There were some crazy times in the past 33 years. There's going to be crazy times going forward. And I guess I'm here to tell you, you got to do what you got to do. If you're working for the devil, yeah, corporate America is the devil for the most part. If you're working for the devil, you got to do that. You got to put your hours in. You got to do what they're asking you to do. I worked many a weekend doing system upgrades when I much rather sometimes it was during holidays, holiday weekends or what have you, or somebody's wedding or anniversary. Sometimes you had to work long weekends. I mean, I'm talking like Friday morning all the way to Monday morning, Sunday night. massive upgrades. We did system upgrades like every other year, and as their landscape got bigger and bigger, if you do it every other year and you got like multiple landscapes, it got to be like it every year, if not more frequently, type of deal. So yeah, people got to work for a living. Got to put food on the table. Got to do what you got to do. That's why I push you guys to save. And I've come to the realization there's savers and spenders. It's almost impossible to convince somebody who's a spender to save. You can like probably cure cancer before you can do that. So I've come to the realization that when I talk to people, you got to classify them as a spender or a saver. And if they're a spender, forget it. There's nothing you're gonna do to convince them to save. It's not embedded in them. It's not in them. It's not in them. It's some type of trait that just they can't adhere to it. They can't accept it. They can't execute the saving thing. It's just like money only flows one way to them. So there you go. So I just wanted to record this. We're going to do the podcast this morning. Going to do this. This is a eventful day yesterday. Eventful. I did a 911 call yesterday. We'll talk about that. Talk about my 911 call. I might be a hero. I don't know. Just trying to help somebody out. But anyway, 911 system works really well around here. So we found that out. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. It's the DJ, and check out all my videos, podcasts, the collapse of America. Yeah, this will be one of the collapse of America videos. Fasten your seatbelt, guys. Stock market going to be down today. Who knows where it'll end? It may be up 1,000 points by the end of the day, but I think it's down 300 to 500 points right now, going into pre-market. So there you go. It's the DJ. Good morning. Good morning.